Welcome to Steve's Place. It's Sunday nights, 6 p.m., actually 7 p.m. here in Albuquerque, and I'm sitting here at the site of the upcoming conference here. We're busy as a one-armed paper hanger here trying to get everything done, and I want to share some things with you. And anyway, tonight, let me try to share a screen here. I don't know if the sound will be getting through on this, but I'm going to give it a shot anyway. Um, we have a thing called share screen, and sometimes it gets kind of complicated. Anyway, here we go. Let's see. Window. Share. And I don't know if you can hear that or not, but we're going to start playing this video here. That was our one of our promo pieces that our guys have put together here. We're going to have a very exciting conference coming up here in Albuquerque. I encourage all of you to come. And I'm going to do another share screen here with the Chrome people. And basically, what this shows is that if you come in to do the conference, right, to do the live stream, if you click on one of the links that we put in our emails tonight and you go to Test Detect Live at How To, it will bring in this this page here. And they also have another video here.
Why should you join us at the Extraordinary Technology Conference in 2024? Let's have a look back at 2023. Water technologies, other new and extraordinary technologies, theoretical physics that is breaking the mold, health and wellness technologies that are in the alternative space. I hope to see you there this year, whether in person or on the live stream, link in the description below.
Hello, folks. Randall Carlson here. This year, there will be 28 innovative and forward-thinking speakers who will be educating their audience about an amazing array of topics, including, of course, Tesla technology, but also magnetic motors, energy-saving devices, zero-point energy, water technology, cosmic and radiant energy, Brown's gas, anti-gravity, low temperature plasma, electrogravitation, electromedicine, terrain theory, and lots of practical do-it-yourself advice. Some of the concepts presented at the conference are available nowhere else, and many of the speakers will have actual working hardware and devices available for demonstration and inspection. Now, here's some great news. The entire event will be live streamed by my partners at howtube.com and can be downloaded to your favorite device for watching in perpetuity. So follow the link below to get your live stream tickets and be prepared for a mind-expanding view into a new world of possibilities and potential. And please join me and the growing worldwide community of innovators, inventors, students, and pioneers in alternative technologies and science. Thank you for your time.
So if you follow our links, to how to test the Techno live on how to, you'll be able to come up to that page, and then it will also have more stuff in it, like supposed to have some t-shirts for sale, but I don't see them here. And the whole conference will be there. The program will be there. Bill Dubois will be there. We just have a ton of people there that's going to be doing all kinds of presentations and that. This is probably one of the biggest conferences I've ever put together in a long time. I mean, our first conference was 1984, which means that this is the 40th anniversary of the conference, and we'll have more about that later this year. Like I say, this conference is going to be a great one. If anyone has any questions, they should ask them now. Basically, if you buy the live stream, you're going to have all the videos available to you forever, so you don't need to buy the DVDs. In fact, if you come to the conference, you can sign up for the live stream and not buy the DVDs at the conference. We will probably set up a station to where you can set up, and buy the live stream right there. If you look at the QR code in the corner there, you click on that. That'll take you right to our sign up page. I encourage you to all sign up. It's a good way of helping us support this effort so we can continue having conferences every year. This is the first time I've ever live streamed the whole conference. We would have gotten started on it earlier, but we were kind of like, I don't know, I was hesitant because first of all, we have to have enough rooms at the hotel closed so that we don't get a commercial club when it comes to our bill. And then to make sure that we had all the pieces in place of the right people who knew how to actually do the stuff, because so often people promise stuff and they can't do it. Last year's conference, they actually did it. And so this year, I'm looking forward to having them. If anyone wants to do have any comments or come online here, I just set up a stream. I don't know if it posted or not. Yeah, it did. I put down the address for our site here. So if you want to come on stage here and introduce yourself and have a discussion, I'm open. Like I say, I'm sitting here in Albuquerque. I drove all day yesterday to be able to get here in time, and worked on getting these computers up and running. The computer, from what I can see, looks pretty good. Actually looks better than the one I have at home. But if there's any comments that people would like to know, you can listen to the comment or come online here. This is our 40th anniversary for our conferences. I first started doing this in 1984. And still doing them, and I hope to do them for many years. And here's one of the things we're going to have featured is water. Uh, George Weissman will be here. Uh, Krishna will be here. And Robert Slovak will be here introducing us to some new concepts in health based on the geography, topology of your body and your and how it relates to like germ theory and just being able to not have to use germ theory. So they'll be here. Then we'll also have What's Up. Will be Greg Braden will definitely be here. Saturday's going to be a busy night. We're going to start at 6 o'clock with Greg, and he's going to do a presentation on why all these ideas run into resistance, because we hear people struggling to try to get the information out there all the time. And it never seems to result in a big project or anything. And Greg's going to explore why that is. And then John Peterson is going to give us some insight into what the future holds for us. These are exciting times, We live in a time where we're going to see Earth changes on the scale that no one has ever seen before. We're already seeing it with the rising temperatures, the intensified storms. And if you're in Florida, ask yourself, where would I rather be, sitting at this hurricane or in Albuquerque with my friends? To me, the solution is simple. We're going to have Russell Anderson here, and Russell has had to overcome some major hurdles to make it, and we're going to have Bill Alec here. He's another Floridian, and he's going to be here with his device and everything. Like I say, we're going to have tons of hardware, a lot of great people, a lot of good food, and I can say the things in life we regret the most are the things we didn't do. And you'll be kicking yourself if you don't make it to this conference, or at least get the live stream, and maybe join us in that way. So at least to know what these guys have to say. And then we're going to be kicking this thing off with the electric universe. I don't know if anyone, how many of you are familiar with the electric universe? I first came into this back, at least 20, maybe 30 years ago, and to a comparative mythology conference they had in Laughlin. And it made a lot of sense, like when you start looking at geological features like the Grand Canyon. Well, a lot of people think it's formed by a lot of erosion of that. What is a more logical answer is that one time the planets were very close together, and they interacted, and interacted literally through electrical charges from one planet to the other. And when you hear things like the thunder of the gods, they weren't talking about regular thunder, like, before a thunderstorm. This was real earth-shattering on the scale of Krakatoa. And they believe that one of those discharges hit a place that, say, like in the Grand Canyon in Arizona, and actually caused that chasm. Okay? And if they look at the moon, and they look at these craters on the moon, they're not typical of where the meteorites and other objects of space actually hit it. It's more like if you ever took a piece of wire and touched the thing to a piece of metal, it leaves little craters. And if you look at the craters on the moon, they're similar, and it makes a really good case to take and consider the electric universe theory. And then you also have Michael Clary's coming. He's been working with this group that has been trying to build put a sun on the because star in a jar, and they're going to try to rebuild the sun in a device about the size of a jar that's going to fit on a table. for fusion and everything. Interesting stuff, fantastic stuff. Okay, and we have a lot of people here. Here's Sri. Sri's all signed up, ready to go to the conference. And if yes, Mike Joe says he hasn't been to Albuquerque, and he did a 10-mile, 100-day hike twice in 30 years in New Mexico called Philmont. I don't know what Philmont would be. But New Mexico is a beautiful place. It's kind of hot. It's like 90 degrees here, but it's a lot cooler than 110 degrees that it is in Phoenix, So I'm enjoying it in that respect. But the biggest thing of all is we're going to have a lot of people here. A lot of my friends in that over the years and that, they're all going to be here. And hope that you are here too. And now, Car, how would you download the live stream? Okay, you just go to the live stream website and just follow the directions. And it's not too big to store on a desktop computer. I don't think you actually have to store it because it's going to be available and you can go watch it anytime from anywhere in the world, just like you kind of do on YouTube, which makes it great because a lot of conferences, when they do a live stream, you have to be there and you only have a short period afterward to watch it. But this is different. We're making these permanently available. You won't find that anywhere else. And for only $99, we consider a whole set will cost you at least approximately about $300. It's a bargain, And it's a lot less work for us too, because well, we don't have to mail people their stuff, their DVDs after the conference, because I'll have them there. Okay, we'll probably rupture your eardrums with noise like that. I imagine you're probably talking about the thunder of the gods, Thor's hammer, and all these myths, Comparative mythology is really fascinating. There's like there's a story in the Bible about how the Israelites were having a major battle with their enemies and they were losing, but then they raised the guy's hands and they started winning and they won for so long. But then, as it was time for sunset, they prayed that the day would be extended. Okay, and so they have the long day in Israel. Well, if you have a long day, you have a long night. And the Incas have a similar event, and they call it the long night, And so there you see comparative mythology at work where you have two myths that happen at the same time, but in reality, they correspond to each other, point to an event, and that has happened globally. And they theorized, I think it was Velikovsky, he theorized that's when Venus came into the orbit of the solar system, because Venus was not part of the solar system when it was formed. And that set a whole lot of things into events into motion. So anyway, a lot of the crew is here. They're setting up the stage downstairs as I speak. It takes us about maybe a day, 2 days at least to set the thing up to where they can start testing it and fine tuning it, so we can, as soon as it starts, you know what's going to happen. So we will be taking, if you come to the conference, okay, and you haven't made your reservations yet, please contact me, because we can still get you in at those rates. If I know in advance, I can make the preparations for it and that. So anyway, like I say, come on to the conference. We're going to have a great time. The only thing you ever miss in life is the things you didn't do. And don't make this a regret, It's like a family reunion, for me, because I get to see a lot of my friends, and a lot of them haven't made it in that past year. It's been a really rough year for a lot of people, and we know the hardships that people are going through. It's one of the reasons we strive so hard to keep our costs down. And like with this live stream, it's a super saving program, and like I say, I've been through hard times myself, so I'm very empathetic with anyone who's having a hard time. We have a lot of volunteers who come here just for the opportunity to be around, the event. And so, like I say, come to the conference, even if it's just to check out the expo and check out and see what the vendors are. I mean, we don't even charge for the expo as far as people coming and looking around. That's open to the public. I encourage everyone to, I think everyone who does will learn something. I don't think you could come to this conference and walk away not learning at least one item, and meeting one person that you become friends with. It's hard to do. You go to conferences, you meet with people, you kick ideas around, and all I can say is, come on down. You have a great time. Like I said, I've been doing this for 40 years, and I'm pretty excited. This is the first time that we've been able to offer a live stream at the price that we do, because most of our labor in this place is volunteers. We're driven by volunteers, even the AV crew and that, if I had to have an AV crew do the stuff that these people do on a volunteer basis, it would cost probably at least $100,000, at least. And I'm basing that on what I know other conferences pay and everything. And these people do it as a labor of love, And Mike, we are going to film. It's called the live stream. You get on the live stream and you can watch it right there in Florida, provided that hurricane don't knock down your power lines. I think that like when you see the amount of hours, we got 28 speakers. You're looking at 28 hours, maybe up to 30, because we have a lot of other stuff going on. We're kind of doing some behind the scenes stuff, that so you can see what goes into producing one of these, and maybe do some videos with man on the street type of interviews. I think it's going to be great. I think this is certainly going to be more enjoyable than going up to Chicago, for the DNC thing, or Milwaukee for the RNC thing. This is going to be a lot more fun, and you'll learn a lot more, I think. You're going to learn how to do things here, and like I say, meet people. So anyway, does anyone have any questions? I mean, we got, like I say, 20 speakers. We start off, well, the bookstore is going to be open at 8 o'clock on Wednesday morning, and we'll be doing registrations throughout the day. And when you get here, get your registration there, come to the workshop. If you come to the whole thing, or if you're pre-registered, everyone is pre-registered. I guess the workshop, for free this year. And another thing that we're trying to do to help people on a budget, and they will, will be who's coming? Okay, it's going to be Phil. Phil's going to be doing the things with the rodent coil. And then we'll have John Fiala and crew. And they're going to teach you how to actually build these creations there so you could do it at home. You know. So here's Shree. He's in Petersburg, and he wants to know if anyone's close by. So we're kind of like a great community, you know, of like minds, you know. It's hard to find these days people who are are more on the intellectual side than the physical. Okay, here's the mic, Miami, and Miami is it's a nice town. I've been to Miami. We used to go around the country giving lectures on Tesla. And we did a Florida tour in the middle of winter one time where we start on the West Coast and work our ways down, to Miami, Palm Beach, the coast. And then we did it at Orlando. And then we ended up in Fort Myers area where my dad lived at the time. And first time I saw my dad in about 10 years. So it was a good trip. And we had a pretty good response of people in Florida. So, and yeah, people, there's a lot of people. It's like people don't remember how to do anything anymore. It's just not people, it's corporations, And I've been absolutely disgusted that we still have two astronauts stuck on a space station in the middle of space because they seem to have forgotten how to build space rockets. I mean, we've only been putting them in space since what, 61 maybe? Or was it 63? But anyway, with us putting men in orbit, and men on the moon, you think, this should be routine by now, and it shouldn't be a big crisis, but it is. Boeing, it seems like they seem to have a real difficulty building airplanes correctly. And I think a lot of this boils down to the economic theories of the 90s, where they thought they could do away with middle management, and middle management, those are the people who know how to do things. If you have a problem, you go find a senior engineer, he'll probably have the solution for it, And when these corporations got rid of their middle management, they went in and gave themselves a lobotomy, basically. And now they can't seem to get anything done right, because they're really, to get rid of the people who knew this stuff, to put more pocket money in the pockets on the guys on top and put more responsibility on the guys on the bottom. So, yes, Paul, the workshop will be streamed as well. And so I'm looking forward to seeing you there. And this way, while you're there, know that all the stuff's being recorded and you won't have to carry the stuff back for the trip, It's still not too late to get involved. Like I say, if you haven't made your reservation by now, well, get a hold of me when you do, and we can work things out with the hotel, to get you in at a better rate, So come on down, And then so Amilcar, you talk about cutting corners because they claim to have lost all the footage. Well, number one rule is don't keep records, And I'm sorry to say it, but every time you leave a record, they use that against you. They don't use it to do things. Okay, there you go. Planning to drive down to Roswell after the conference to see the Space ET Museum. Roswell's an interesting place. A lot of people don't realize that in Roswell is the actually our first spaceport between Walker Air Force Base, where all the nuclear weapons were stored in the 40s, which is why the ETs were probably attracted to there, because they were keeping an eye on the stuff, to Goddard. Robert Goddard, the father of American rocketry, actually was launching rockets down there. And then when paper, Operation Paperclip, when they took all the Russian or the German scientists, the Nazi scientists from Peenemünde, they brought them to the country. They had to smuggle them to the country because of the ban on Nazis entering the country. So they had to bring them in through Mexico and Juarez into Roswell area, and that's where they settled down. So if you go to Roswell, you're going to notice that there's a European flavor to all the housing down there. And if you have a good ear for Spanish, you're going to find that they kind of speak with a German accent, because when the German scientists came, they brought their wives with them, and they all sat in Roswell, and the wives became school teachers, you know. So yeah, and then right where they had the 50th, 60th anniversary for Roswell was at the Goddard Space Museum. And unfortunately, I don't think the UFO people realized the significance of that, because they walked right by Goddard's workshop. They had his actual workshop. They took from his place and put it there. And they had everything there, with the exception of the actual guidance device and the papers, which they had there before the late 90s, early 2000, when a group of Air Force cadets came down there and was kind of looking at the exhibit. And it turns out that the guidance system and the paperwork were actually classified documents, because we still use that guidance system to this day, that Goddard developed. And when the German scientists were asked, well, how did you figure out the guidance system? And they go, well, ask Goddard. You got to remember, scientists always like to come to conferences like this, and they exchange information in the back rooms and that. You never know what's going to happen in the back rooms, and at our 1988 conference in Colorado Springs, we actually demonstrated that magnetic forces move faster than the speed of light. And it drove my college professors nuts, because they based their entire lives on the concept that nothing can exceed the speed of light. And here we are demonstrating what Tesla said, that magnetic forces move like 86 times the speed of light, so 34 times the speed of light. And we demonstrated it, and like I say, you never know what's going to happen in the back rooms. You don't know who you're going to be able to talk to. We have something to eat every night, like a taco bar and a pasta bar and salad bars and chicken bars or chicken wing bar, whatever. There's always something good to eat, and saves people a lot of money. We even come up with a special menu with all the prices at $10 for the items, which is a good price, considering most of the time it's like about $15 for the same stuff. So all I can say is, come on down. The management here is really helpful. I met the assistant general manager last night. His name's Andrew, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to make this a great event for everyone. So yeah, and this will probably be the last show I do before, I don't know, probably looking at the 18th at the earliest, maybe the 25th. The 11th, that'd be next Sunday, or that'd be right at the end of the show, and we'll either be packing up or going to my favorite place in town, the County Line Barbecue. And there they got a platter of beef ribs. They call it a Big Daddy. And that's the main reason I have the conference in Albuquerque, is so I can get the Big Daddy every year. That's pretty good stuff. So, I don't know if we're going to live stream the taco bar. Generally at night, by that time, our camera crew had been burn out pretty much. We start at like 8 o'clock sharp, and the evening session started probably around 8 o'clock. So that's a good 12-hour day these guys put in, and they're all volunteers. In fact, I think there's going to be a couple of things happening after the official end of the show. Who knows? Anything can happen. Come on down, and we'll have a big screen there. We're going to have a big screen that people can take selfies with, and if you're at the show, between speakers and that, so that'd be a good chance to get yourself a little memento. And I don't know, I'm just looking forward to it. It's gonna be a long, hard week, but it's always worth it. My biggest problem is finding time to sleep. Sleep deprivation is a big issue. You might want to take I think you might want to take and get a couple of nights of good sleep before you come here, because you might find it hard to sleep once you get here, not because of the noise, but because you're having such a good time, and everyone knows how it is to close down a good time. Anyway, so Paul here was asked to leave the county line because he was eating too much of their all-you-can-eat prize. Yeah. Well, here it's not all you can eat, but the portions are so big. I eat about half of it right there at the restaurant. I take the other half with me, And this year, I have to bring the bones home because we have a little guy here that just loves eating bones. So his name is Bones. So we'll get him some big bones. But they have all kinds of barbecue at the county line. They got chicken, pork, whatever. But unfortunately, they also have fish. And I don't know, I just have a thing about going to a steakhouse or barbecue house and ordering fish. That's like going to a fish house and ordering steak. It's just something you really don't do. So anyway, does anyone else have any more comments, or are you just going to hop on there, go to the website, get signed up? At least go to the website there and look. Go to testatech.live and at least look at the program again. Maybe take a second, maybe a third look at it, and think real hard. We're going to keep the live stream available throughout the conference, okay? So I encourage you to join as soon as possible. You won't miss anything, even if you sign up a little bit late, because, like I say, we'll be recording from day one, and these things will be available in perpetuity for people who sign up for the live stream. But the live stream is not going to last forever, as far as being able to sign up for it as the live stream. After the conference, we'll have a video on demand, but that's going to cost more. We're trying to accommodate everybody because a lot of guys that won't live stream and don't have a computer, don't want a computer, don't want nothing to do with the computer. And so if we could take and have the DVDs available, they have DVD players, and so they'll take DVDs instead to get their information. Like I say, to me, the DVDs and the video is always a memory aid. You get to my age, and which I'm sure a lot of you are, if not more, tend to forget a lot of things, and this here will kind of jolt the memory, and remind you of things, that you thought you forgot. So again, I encourage you all to go in there, and and anytime that we do any show in that, if you could just remember to hit that thumbs up, that will help us with our search engines and help us get more hits, you know, and help us spread the word. You know, um, one of the big things I'm having right now is YouTube. Uh, it kind of goes ups and down, and now we have these new programs that will take and they'll cancel subscriptions for people automatically. Uh, and it's nice to save money in that, but sometimes it hurts the people you're trying to help, because like when we have our Test Tech channel, the things that helps us keep it going is the people who join and become members, actual members, as opposed to just subscribers. Subscriptions are free, and it's great. And so we encourage everyone to become members. We make this stuff available at $9.99, and yeah, it's possible to game the system, by just, okay, I'll go watch this video because I need to right now, pay $9.99, then take a cancel, and then wait until down the road I need something else. But see, the problem with that is that it takes away income that we need to put more stuff up there. Like right now, I have about 300 more videos I need to get converted from VHS into DVDs, because we want to save that technology. I mean, these are videos from in the 80s. And so it's important, I find, first of all, someone who knows how to do it right, and second, to have the income to actually get it done. So that's what we're working on now, and depending on the amount of live stream, that might make it really close to getting that done. So every little bit helps, every little bit. I value every penny, oh yeah, and I never turned down a free meal. You never can tell. That's in the Army, you never knew when you're going to eat next or sleep next. So any chance you had to sleep or eat, you did it. And some of my great times, like walking through these watermelon fields in Korea, eating a watermelon. That was the good old days. They're all good. Anytime that you can look in the mirror, it's a great day. What resolution will the live stream be? I am not sure about the resolution. Unfortunately, our technical expert has to be at another meeting for the live stream, and he wasn't here to answer that kind of question anyway. We generally do about at least 3 to 4 camera shoots here, and we have an experienced camera crew here, so it should be pretty good. Okay, if you haven't subscribed to the Test Tech channel, please do. But one of the things that happens is when we set up the stage, for a meeting or for like right now a live stream, it will appear immediately on the subscription list. Okay. Oh, here we go. Never take wooden nickels either. That's good advice for the most part. Unless you need to start a fire, come up and use it for that. But yeah. But and the thing about these conferences, especially the old conferences that we have about 30 years at least of conferences on videotape. We're trying to get all those converted. Most of those, well, the ones remaining, I put all those together. And this is my train of thought back in the early 80s, early 90s, so it's kind of interesting. I first started, our first conference was in 1984, and Toby Rhodes, he was one of the organizers of that conference. Now that conference came the International Test Society, and Toby was the first president. But yeah, it's a long history. Perhaps we'll get him on here and he can go through it. it's great, you know. Anyway, like I say, get the exclusive membership, $9.99 a month, global access 24/7. Although I hear Russia may be getting ready to shut down a lot of social media, I hope they let YouTube survive. You know, people can learn stuff. We have technical stuff, good science stuff, and good health stuff. That stuff you're not going to be able to get anywhere else. Yeah. So, anyway, is there any other questions or any comments anyone wants to make? It's kind of a short night, but I got a lot of stuff to do, so I got to go. I got to get all of the registrations printed out tonight so we can start preparing all the attendance packages. People who come, if people come, they'll be able to they'll have the packet right there with their receipts in it, and they'll have their badges and that. You know, it's a lot of work we still got to get done here. Please convert any footage of Al Billick and Preston Nichols. Well, we do have a lot of stuff on Al Billick and Preston already up there. If you can go up to our justcheck.info and use the speaker directory and go check out Al Billick and Preston Nichols, because they should be up there in that list in that. And of course, Al's along with us. I'm unsure about Preston Nichols. Preston was quite the character. And I first met Preston in 1984 as well. And Al and Preston would do a lot of stuff. Like after the main event, would have more stuff going on in the back rooms there, and they were they had little seminars of that, and a lot of people went and checked them out. You know, it was very entertaining, but that was probably very factual. In fact, I know that there was a team in Goddard Space Center who actually was looking into all the claims that Al was making, and they do research into places that he's been to, like Montauk. And Montauk is extremely unusual because it's federal property. It's state property, but it's kind of like the feds kind of patrol it, and a federal judge basically ended up refusing that until they marked it as federal property. He was going to stop hearing any cases from it, you know. So that's kind of a mystery in and of itself, you know. 1984 keeps coming up tonight. Yeah, 1984. In more ways than one. Yeah. This is a good chance to come to the conference and learn stuff, to test stuff. These conferences started off because I was interested in free energy and that. A lot of people were. But everyone has a story to tell. Well, we want to see what's true or not, and the only way you can do that is put up or shut up. Bring your device here. Let us see it and that, you know, and or quit bragging on it, you know, because it's like fishing, you know. You ever go fishing? Ever gets a bigger fish than you do? I don't care how big a fish you get. Someone always has one bigger. Well, that's the same thing. And the test of stuff, well, that ended up being about 3 or 4 different organizations getting together to throw the first major Tesla conference in Colorado Springs in 1984. Pretty close to Memorial Park, which is where Tesla built his Colorado Springs lab. So it's held at the Colorado College there. And that's where I first started meeting people like Tom Bearden, you know. He's no longer with us. It's important to come to these conferences in person because a lot of the pioneers, well, I'm pushing 70 at this point. There are people who are even older than me. And until medical science gets to the point where we can live just about as long as we want to, you won't have limited time to meet people, talk to them, exchange ideas with them, get their opinion on what your train of thought is. It's not going to happen over on the internet. Yeah, you might have emails and that, but I get over 100 emails a day, maybe even more. I can't keep up with it, and even with the spam filters they have. But then you got to check the spam filters because they probably delete the very email that you needed. They probably put in spam, and if you don't look at your spam, you're gonna miss it. I encourage people, if they're gonna send me something, to take and let me know. Email is a good way. I do not open any attachments unless I am expecting the attachment as from someone I've known and gotten stuff from before. People, you have to have a little bit of trust these days, because people will send you anything, and there's a lot of lurkers out there who are trying to stop this technology from getting out, or people even learn about it. I was there when the gentleman who was doing the underground tunnels, he was stabbed the week before the conference. That was back in Global Sciences Conference. A lot of stuff, as long as it's a secret, is a danger. Once these guys come out and reveal it, it's kind of like protection. You're protected because it's not a secret anymore. But still, the basis for secrets sometimes is a lack of knowledge. People might think it's a secret, but it isn't. It's just a lack of knowledge that a person has, to properly develop it. And that. All I can say is, come on down and to the conference and meet these people in person. They can print stuff on the computer. That's to come. All of our stuff before we have a computer here, which is when people give us thumb drives and that for presentations and that, every one of them has to be pre-screened, not for content, but we're scanning for like viruses and that, anything that would take out our main computers, which we're using to facilitate the presentations. Unexpected events is the biggest hazard of this thing, and we try to avoid as much as possible. We have had viruses planted in these presentations of that. So like that's one of the steps we take. Dangerous, very dangerous. You don't know what's going to happen once you get a virus in. And as everyone saw what happened with CrowdStrike, and it's really strange, like before, starting in June, it seems like strange things starts happening with the computers. All of a sudden, my internet seems to be slowed down and everything, and just before that, for the last 3 weeks here, it's been very intermittent. And the question is it a conspiracy, or is it the fact that it's so hot and the cable companies use such cheap equipment that when the sunlight hits them, and those connections that get super hot, it starts disrupting the signal to noise ratio. And even though a TV signal will get through okay, when you're talking data, what it does is really puts a lot of static in it, disrupts it, you know. And you have to fight with the cable companies. You know, they send a new guy up, you know, like they did last week. Give me a new modem. I had to change all my passwords and everything on all the computers to get everything working again. Sucks up time, you know, and that's the name of the game. You know, they want to eat up your time. So come on down, go to the conference. You know, oh, I'm starting to cut out now. Yeah, that's the other thing. They only allow you so much time, and then they cut you off. You ever seen that? You're on the phone, and then all of a sudden, boom, you get something interesting, boom, phone line drops. Anyway, you can avoid that by coming down to the conference in person and talking to the people. And I'm going to call it a night there, and I'm going to encourage everyone to come on down. We'll probably do a Steve's Place after the show, but not right after the show. It'll be a week or two after, and see what happens then. And you all have a great night. Thank you for listening, and thank you for coming. And if you signed up for the live stream of that, we were especially grateful and thankful for that. You all have a good night. Bye. I'll see you soon.